Alrighty, Tim. We got a little bird here that I've been chasing for a while. Made a couple stabs at harvesting one last year, but through a mixture of bad shooting and bad luck, I couldn't get one. This is called a woodcock. We got this real long beak that you might notice here, and you find them all around these parts this time of year down here in Louisiana. Apparently, they spend some time up north in the warmer months. They don't like that heat down here. You can see they got this nice pattern on their back. Their wings are shaped kind of odd, so if you've ever seen one flying before, it's very noticeable. They got this nice little brown cream color on their bottom, these little legs. And these critters have this long beak, digging around in leaves and dirt and mud and stuff, looking for worms and bugs that they like to eat on. So I got this guy a couple days ago. His feathers are a little messed up on his back here. I'm not sure if that's from when I shot him or from him sitting in my fridge for a few days. But we're gonna pluck him here, get him all cleaned up. I'm going to use this thing here to singe any feathers I don't pull off of them. Get rid of those, burn them up, and you'll see them turn into something that's ready to cook up and eat. The dress she wore was blue, and she hollered at the Johnny had thrown out. Said Johnny won't be through to you. Johnny won't be through to Alrighty, we got this fella pretty much plucked up now. You can see he looks a lot different without his feathers on. See how skinny those wings really are without all those feathers on there. There's not a lot of meat on these, but it's not much effort to pluck them. Um, there's a couple little bites on there, and you can always throw those, separate those off, and throw them in a stew or something, and makes a nice little thing to find in there. The legs have a nice little bite on each of them; they're real tender. And then the breast meat right here, that's what powers these wings, makes them flat. That's real good, and there's a couple good mouthfuls in that on each of these woodcock. I only managed to get one this most recent time, but he's a good little example of what they look like. I'm going to go ahead and trim them up the rest of the way here. Take some scissors, and this end part of the wing here, there's nothing you can eat in there. It's just bone and feathers. I got shot a little bit here, so I'm actually cut it back there some. And this one's same situation. Go ahead and just slice it right there. I'll usually pluck out the neck and use that if I can too. It makes throw in a stock or something, add a little bit of flavor in there. But his neck looks a little bit shot up, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut that right here. Very good. And then there's a little trick you gotta do with the feet. Oh, just the plucking on this one. And this will let you make the meat more tender in the legs. You got some real tough stuff running right in here that connects the muscle here to the foot up here. And so what you want to do is take a knife and run it right around this little joint here. And you're just trying to cut through the skin mostly so that you can pull this thing apart just all the way around it. Slowly turn it, take your time. Always want to be careful. And you do this with ducks and really anything that you're eating the legs off of that's got wings. You want to grab really, really tight right around this part of the leg, or else this meat's so tender you'll just rip the whole thing apart. And I'll see if I can get it right here. Grab it and pull real hard. There we go. And then it'll pull all this tough stuff that you can't eat right out of the meat. Makes it a lot more tender when you cook it up. You can see, heat it up a little bit, but not too bad doing that. Let's see if I can get this side a little smoother. Yeah, that one went a little better. Same thing, just got all that tough stuff out of there. There it is. Depending on how you want to cook it, you can split it down the back here and lay it open flat. I did that with a couple of them I got recently. This one I'm going to try actually taking the breasts and legs and wings off and cooking them up separate and see how they turn out. But that's a little woodcock. Alright, we've got them all cleaned up as best we can by hand. Now we're going to get fire to help us out a little bit here. What we want to do is just crank this burner up and be real careful. Can't see it on camera, but it's burning pretty good. And I'm just gonna take this little birdie and let that burner singe off those little hairs. These little hairy feathers stuck on here. You can see some there. They're so small that that fire will burn them up and make them disappear before it even starts to cook the bird. You can do this without really having any impact on your meat. It will tighten the skin up a little bit, which makes the whole thing a little prettier to look at. And if you do it inside, it'll make your whole house smell like burning hair for about an hour or two, or so I've heard. Alright, that's that. You don't look much different on the camera, but trust me, he was covering a bunch of fine little hair feathers, and you can't see them anymore now. Kept all of his feathers I pulled off in a little pile here, just so you get an idea of how much feathers come off of one little bird. There's the tips of his wings there. There's the other one. There's all the feathers that came off of just that one little bird there. That's the good eating part you get out of them. The rest of this is trash. Just got a couple little feet and a head. You toss these all in the wood and they'll be going by morning. Alright, that's that.